All right, listen up. Let's get real. Life is this huge, unpredictable ride that no one hands you a manual for. You're out here figuring it out as you go, and sometimes it feels like no matter what you do, misery's waiting around the corner. But it doesn't have to be like that. There are some essential life lessons that, if you truly absorb and live by, can make sure you don't end up feeling stuck in a constant loop of unhappiness. So, let's dive into these lessons, and I want you to take them to heart. This isn't just advice. This is how you live a life that feels worth living. 1. Perfection is a myth. Embrace your imperfection. Here's the deal. Chasing perfection is like running on a treadmill. You're working hard, but you're not actually going anywhere. Society loves to feed us this idea that we need to be flawless. Perfect bodies, perfect grades, perfect careers. But perfection is a mirage. It doesn't exist. What happens when you chase after it? You burn out, you're never satisfied, and you start thinking you're not good enough. Here's the truth. Imperfection is where growth happens. It's in your mistakes that you learn, and in your failures that you become resilient. Aim for progress, not perfection. Embrace your quirks and flaws because they make you human, and being human is enough. 2. Master the art of letting go. People will wrong you. You'll face disappointments. Life won't always go your way. And guess what? You can't carry all that baggage around forever. Imagine if you tried walking through life with a backpack full of every grudge, resentment, and hurt you've ever experienced. It would weigh you down, right? That's exactly what happens when you don't let go. Holding on to bitterness or regret is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Learn to forgive, not for them, but for your own peace. Let go of what's no longer serving you. You can't move forward while you're chained to the past. 3. Stop comparing your chapters. One to someone else's chapter 20. Look, we live in a world where everyone's highlight reel is on display. Social media, for instance, makes it seem like everyone's got it all together. But here's what you need to know. People only show you the good stuff. The vacations, the promotions, the perfect selfies. What they don't show you are the sleepless nights, the doubts, the failures that got them there. Comparison is the thief of joy. When you compare yourself to others, you're setting yourself up for a cycle of feeling inadequate. Your journey is your own, and it's unfolding at its own pace. Focus on your growth and measure your progress against who you were yesterday, not against someone else's curated life. 4. Gratitude is the key to contentment. No matter how bad things seem, there's always something to be grateful for. Practicing gratitude shifts your mindset from a focus on lack to a focus on abundance. It's easy to get caught up in what you don't have or what's not going right. But when you train yourself to notice the good, life starts to feel a lot richer. Gratitude turns what you have into enough. Keep a gratitude journal, or just take a moment each day to reflect on what's going right. When you focus on the good multiplies. 5. You can't control everything. So, stop trying. One of the biggest sources of misery is the constant attempt to control things you have no power over. You can't control how others act, what they think, or what life throws your way. What you can control is you, your attitude, your reactions, your choices. Learning to differentiate between what you can control and what you can't is a game changer. Life becomes a lot less stressful when you stop trying to micromanage the universe and instead focus on how you respond to it. Let go of the need to control, and you'll find peace. 6. Cultivate meaningful relationships. We are not meant to go through life alone. Human connection is essential to our well-being, but not just any connection. Meaningful connection. Invest your time and energy in relationships that uplift you, challenge you, and bring out the best in you. These are the people who will stand by you when things get tough, and who celebrate with you when life is good. Equally important is learning to let go of toxic relationships. If someone is consistently draining your energy, causing you stress, or making you feel less than, it's time to walk away. Surround yourself with people who reflect the love and light you deserve. 7. Learn to say no without guilt. Let's talk about boundaries. So many people end up feeling exhausted and miserable because they're constantly saying yes when they really want to say no. Here's the thing. You don't owe anyone your time, energy, or emotional labor. It's okay to set limits, and it's okay to prioritize your well-being. Saying no is an act of self-respect. When you spread yourself too thin trying to please everyone, you end up burnt out and resentful. Know your limits, and don't be afraid to enforce them. 8. Failure is not the end. It's part of the process. Nobody likes to fail. It feels uncomfortable, and sometimes humiliating. But failure is not a dead end. It's part of the process. Every successful person you admire has failed, probably more times than you can imagine. Failure is a teacher. It shows you what doesn't work and pushes you to find what does. When you learn to see failure as feedback, rather than a reflection of your worth, you'll start to take risks and go after what you want without the fear of messing up. Remember, you either win or you learn. There's no losing in the long run. 9. Your happiness is your responsibility. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that happiness is something that happens to you, like when you get the perfect job, find the right partner, or reach a certain milestone. But happiness is an inside job. It's something you create, not something you wait for. This means taking ownership of your life and your choices. If you're constantly waiting for external circumstances to change so you can be happy, you'll be waiting forever. Happiness comes from living with intention, aligning your life with your values, and making choices that bring you joy. 10. Live in the present, not in the what-ifs. We spend so much time living in the future, worrying about what might happen, or in the past, ruminating over things we can't change. Meanwhile, life is happening in the now. The present moment is all you really have, and if you're not careful, you'll miss it while you're busy obsessing over the future or dwelling on the past. Practice mindfulness. Be here now. Appreciate what's happening in this moment, because it's the only moment that's guaranteed. 11. Always be a student of life. The moment you think you know it all is the moment you stop growing. Life is an ongoing journey of learning, unlearning, and relearning. Stay curious. Be open to new ideas, new experiences, and new ways of thinking. Lifelong learning isn't just about formal education. It's about cultivating a mindset that's open to growth. Whether it's through books, conversations, travel, or personal reflection, never stop seeking wisdom. Growth keeps life exciting, and excitement keeps misery at bay. Closing thought. You don't have to resign yourself to a life of misery. Happiness and fulfillment aren't reserved for the lucky or the few. They're accessible to anyone willing to learn, grow, and apply these life lessons. It's not about having a perfect life, but about creating a life that's rich with meaning, connection, and growth. Learn these lessons, live them, and watch how your perspective on life changes. It's all within your power, your life, your choice.